Quick question. Open up ChatGPT right now, or wait until after this episode if you are driving, and ask it this. Who are the top experts in my specialty and maybe even in my city? Does your name come up? If you hesitated even for a second with that question, this episode is going to be a game changer. Most brands have no idea if they are discoverable on AI, meaning if you go to ChatGPT or Claude and so forth, looking for a solution to a problem, and you have that solution, a lot of brands don't know if they come up as the answer to that person's question. And here's the thing that kind of trips people up about this is that you can have a beautiful Instagram with high engagement, a polished website, great branding, even a decent following online, and still be invisible to the tools that your future patients or clients or customers are already using to decide who to trust. Visibility means that people can look at you and see that you exist, right? But discoverable is when someone goes looking for the best person or the best product, and yours is the one that surfaces. Those are not the same thing. And the tools that are doing the looking and searching, and now we call it recommending, have changed, right? It's not just Google anymore. It's not even just social media. It's, as I mentioned, ChatGPT, it's Claude, it's Perplexity. And increasingly, it's these tools that are making the first recommendation before a person even sees your name. Here are some stats to really help put this into perspective. ChatGPT had several 100 million weekly active users by the end of 2025, making it one of the fastest adopted consumer tools in human history, which is kind of funny. A large and growing share of Gen Z and younger millennials use AI chatbots the way that former generations use Google, as a default first stop for questions, not like a novelty tool. Many people also now use AI tools for recommendations that they used to ask a friend for, or in addition to asking a friend for, like recommendations of restaurants, products, service providers. Who should I trust for X, Y, and Z? An adoption has been notably faster among women in health, beauty, and wellness related searches. I'm going to say that again. Adoption of AI has been notably faster among women in health, beauty, and wellness related searches, more so than other categories, since those queries are very personal for people and people prefer a private, judgment-free first pass before asking a human. 77% of patients begin their healthcare search on Google as well. And nearly half of patients are already using AI tools to research and find providers. So, you guys, you gotta know, is your brand showing up in these searches? And that's what we're going to talk about here today. I want to walk you through exactly what makes a brand discoverable, not just visible, and how to actually know, not guess, where you stand. So let's dive in. Is your brand AI discoverable? The first thing that AI tools are looking for is the same thing, and that is proof. And that proof not necessarily coming from you. Anyone can say that they're the best in their field or say that on their website. That's expected. That's called marketing. But what actually moves the needle is third-party validation, right? Because third-party validation builds trust. So think a journalist, a podcast host, a reporter, a client, a patient, someone with, no real reason to say nice things about you, except that it's true, putting your name next to your expertise. So you can ask yourself honestly, in the last 12 months, has that happened? Not something that you've paid for, not something that was sponsored. Have you earned coverage, validation, recommendations of your business in third-party sources? If the answer is not yet, or it's been a minute, it's not a reflection of your work, you guys. It's a reflection of what has or has not been built around your brand thus far. And it's usually one of the very first gaps that needs closing in order to get your brand discovered via AI. The second signal is consistency. And this one surprises people because it almost feels too simple to matter, but it matters enormously. So you want to pull up your social media, your website homepage, your Google business profile, and put them side by side right now. Do they describe what you do using the same core phrases? Not a similar vibe, but actually using the same words. Here's why this matters so much is that AI tools are pattern matching machines. So when your message is similar everywhere, that's a strong, clear signal. This is who the person is. This is what they do. When it's different in 3, 4 different places, that creates not just confusion for your customer, but confusion for these LLMs as well. And confusion does not get recommended. It gets skipped for the person or the search result down who made it easy. So an example of this is, for a long time I said I am a PR expert, and my title has kind of expanded to be PR and brand expert. So that title I now take on my personal website, on my Factor website, on my Instagram bio, right? Just making sure that those keywords of brand, if that's what I want to show up for, are strung through every place that I show up online too. Hi, friends. I want to tell you about our new and improved authority accelerator from Factor PR called RealFluence. RealFluence is the only membership that helps beauty and wellness founders grow their reputation and authority to attract new customers without endless discounting, advertising, or going viral. Inside, you'll learn how to get recognized for your product or your expertise, partner with other founders, and become the name people trust and talk about, all with the guidance and community to support you every step of the way. Remember, you can't buy authority. You have to earn it. And RealFluence is here to help. Visit therealfluence.com to get started. A third signal that AI is looking for when it determines who or what to recommend is what I call structured authority. And this is really where a lot of really talented people kind of fall short. And again, not because of lack of expertise, but because their expertise isn't organized anywhere searchable. So you want to have a dedicated page for your press mention. You want to ask yourself, does your website have FAQ style content that actually answers real questions that your patients, your customers, your clients are typing? Are your testimonials sitting in more than one place online? None of this is about becoming a content machine, okay? It's about making sure that the proof of your expertise exists somewhere that AI and humans can actually find it and read it. Because remember, at the time of recording this, AI is not crawling your Instagram captions. It's not crawling your TikTok. The only, quote unquote social media that AI is currently crawling is Reddit. But it's reading your website. Otherwise, if your authority lives only in your head or in your DMs, it doesn't exist to the tools that are making the recommendations. A fourth signal along the same lines of consistency is recency. When did you last update an old blog post? When's the last time you got press? When is the last time you updated your biography? Are all of your communications online current, right? AI rewards freshness. A press hit from 2 years ago that's never been touched since, it starts to lose its pull. Even if it was a great placement at the time, letting your best content go stale too is one of the quietest ways brands lose ground without even realizing it's happening. So you've heard the term, if you build it, they will come. You got to keep it updated too. So when you put these 4 signals together, again, that's press, consistency, structure, and recency, you land in one of 3 places. You might be undiscoverable, meaning most of these signals just are not there yet. And honestly, that's actually the easiest place to fix because the fixes are mostly within your control starting today. A step up from being undiscoverable, you might be sitting in a place that I call fragmented authority, which is its own special kind of frustrating. You've done real work. You've gotten a feature here, a consistent blog cadence there, but it's scattered instead of stacked. So AI and your future customers are only getting a partial picture of you instead of the full one. Or you might be ahead of the game already and be what I call AI ready, which means the foundation that you have built is genuinely strong. Nice work. And if that's you, the trap isn't complacency about the work that you've done. It's assuming that the work is finished. It's not. It has just entered a new phase where the next unlock isn't more optimization, it's more strategic validation. So here's what I want you to take from this. First of all, remember, discoverability is not luck, and it isn't something that you either have or you don't. It's made up of specific, identifiable pieces. And once you know which ones are missing, you know exactly what to fix. One of the big reasons why my business, Factor PR, gets its most referrals from AI isn't because I started doing all of this overnight. It's because as a PR agency, I have been a positioning machine, a content machine. My job is to get press coverage. I almost feel like I cheated a little bit, but I didn't. But my point being is like, let me be proof to you that this is something that you can actually very strongly influence. And if you don't want to guess where you land, whether you're undiscoverable, you have fragmented authority, or you are AI ready, I built something for you that I'd love to invite you to check out. It's called a free AI discoverability scorecard from Factor PR. There's just about like 10 or 11 questions. It takes maybe 2 minutes to score and fill out. And it'll tell you not only exactly where you stand, but what to do next. So if you're interested in taking this quiz, I'd love to invite you to head over to therealfluence.com/AI. I have the link down below. Take the quiz and find out where you land. Let me be proof once again. It's the middle of 2026 here, and my business, Factor PR, has literally generated over 6 figures in revenue simply from AI referrals. So the time is now, guys, while your competitors are still sort of lagging behind and you want to make an impact, especially when it comes to working smarter, not harder, and having AI do the heavy lifting for you by recommending your brand, your product, your service to the people who are actually actively searching right now, right? They're going to AI not to crawl. They're going to AI to conclude, right? To get a solution to their problem. Please, please check out this scorecard. I think that you'll find it so very helpful. I'm rooting for you always, and I'll see you back here next week. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode deposited some useful advice and insights to help you grow your wealth. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future conversations. You can find more resources, episode details, and updates at growyourwealthpodcast.com. And let's keep the conversation going on Instagram. Follow me at Grow Your Wealth Podcast. I'd love to hear your thoughts, questions, or takeaway from today's show. Until next time, remember, burnout is optional. Take care, and I'll see you next week.